afternoon. It's Ronaldo Mesa with the Real Men, Real Leaders podcast. It is Wednesday, August the 20th. It's pretty warm today, but I tell you what, the good Lord's going to bless us starting Saturday, where it's going to cool down a bit and we're going to have some rain. We have a great guest, a good friend of mine, doing great things out here at the community college. And we wanted to get him on, and we're just glad to have you, Dr. Ryan Ruda. Thank you for being here this afternoon.
My pleasure.
And sharing, what's going on at the college, and just, about yourself and how you got where you're at today, what it took, and starting there, what led you to be in education? What led you to be, hey, this is what I want to do?
Right.
Was there somebody or something that said, caught you and said, I'm going to take this path?
Right.
Was there anything in particular?
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, I was pretty much a lost soul in college, and so you hear those stories there where, the average college student changes their major upwards of 6 times.
Yeah.
Well,
I've read that.
I beat the average. I changed mine 8. Right? So I was trying to figure out my path.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually ended up getting my degree in criminal justice, and I was going to go into being highway patrol.
Oh, wow.
And that's really the path and where I was heading. And then I met my wife, and I met a faculty member up at Fort Hays, and that trajectory changed a little bit to where I decided to stay in.
And that's where you went to school, right?
At Fort Hays,
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so once I met my wife, and she got me on the right path, and kind of corrected a lot of my wrongs. It's an ongoing process.
I think for all of us.
Yeah, for all. Yeah, absolutely. But I decided to stay at Fort Hays and get my master's, and ended up getting my master's in higher education, but counseling, mental health counseling. And it was really through that I met several faculty members and made the decision that I wanted to stay in higher education. And I wanted to work in higher ed.
And a great decision.
Yeah.
It's panned out for you.
It has.
Yeah.
It has.
Now, saying that, we know that one time starting, you were the vice president of student services.
Right.
And you might have been elsewhere, but, we dug a little bit of your path there. Don't
dig too hard.
So VP in that area now, college president. Now,
right.
I know, this community knows, you face some tough challenges over there, not just you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the faculty, everybody, this community has. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to focus on any particular thing there. What I want to focus in on is how you dealt with that.
Right.
I mean, as a leader that's trying to navigate difficult situations and people,
right.
Pulling at you in different directions. Mm-hmm. How'd you handle some of that stuff? Did you? It's just interesting to me because you'd weather the storm,
right.
and now you're. I think you're on a trajectory to some degree. But what kind of mental attitude does it take, would you say?
Well, I think it comes down to resiliency. You have to have a resilient mindset. I think the other piece of it is, and I operate from this mentality, you have to control what you can control, right? Mm. But as a part of that is the people you surround yourself with.
Absolutely.
The college is successful not because of anything that I do. It's successful because of the faculty and the staff and the people that we have there, the board of trustees, the individuals that are helping to guide and shape the work that we do and the mission that we have at the college. And that's what gets you through, right, is leaning on the people, surrounding yourself with people. And it doesn't mean that you're always getting along, right? But it's having a common purpose, a common mission, and a common path and direction that you want to go, and then having those individuals that you can lean on to be able to start moving the needle and riding the course.
That's great. And I'll tell you, Matt Allen, who we had here yesterday on a podcast. To me, that's great leadership because, to me, he brought up the same thing. You can't do things alone. I can't do things alone. I can't do this podcast without my buddy over here, Edgar, and you make a very valid point that it's not about you.
Right.
It's about us.
That's right.
And I think that's when you have that type of work ethic and that kind of type of leadership attitude, then people believe in you, and because you want them. You don't have all the answers.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's, and you have this. It's a servant leadership mindset,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's giving of yourself and what you have, and being able to stand up and build up others. Truly, just this week we had the start of school. And to be able to walk in there and see all these new students that are coming to campus that have excitement, they have hope about what they're going into major-wise, that affirms what we do, right?
Yes.
And that builds you up.
Got to make you feel good.
Yes, absolutely. And then knowing that you in a year or 2 years are going to see them walking across the stage, attaining what it is that they set out to do. That's what drives you. That's what brings you back to doing what you do.
It brings you some joy when they get through school and they leave here and they go on to do bigger and better things.
Yeah.
It's got to be pretty gratifying.
100%. Yeah.
So, obviously the community college makes an impact on our community, and not just here, outside of here.
Right.
Statewide.
Right.
You've impacted not only students, but the community itself.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that? And it's like, we're just not this tiny college, because you have moved the needle forward.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Expound on that a little bit, if you will.
Yeah. Well, I think, data helps to tell picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it helps to tell a story. I think there's several things you can look at. One, just 2 years ago, we did an economic impact study that takes a look at what is the impact that Garden City Community College has on our region, right? On Southwest Kansas, on Finney County. What's the value that Garden City Community College brings? And so it's taking a look at everything from goods and what's purchased and what's spent in Garden City because of the college. Taking a look at the impact of the students that come in from outside of Finney County, outside of the state, and invest and pay to live here. But through that, what came to light there was Garden City Community College has $124.5 million annual economic impact.
Wow.
On this city, on this county, and that's something where those dollars just turn over each year, and so how do you get to that number? Well, we take a look at, again, some of the data. This last year, 52% of our students come from Finney County. So Garden City Community College is serving Finney County. Over half of our students are students that are from Garden City, Finney County.
Yes.
Then you compound that, 78%, so almost 8 in 10 of our students are from Kansas. So we are training for the state, we're training for the region, and so then, roughly about 22% are coming from out of state, international. So, we are a player, we are a driver, we're an economic engine for our region, for the state, and I think a lot of that is being able to sit down at the table and listen to business and industry.
Mm-hmm.
We have brought on 8 new programs over the course of the last 7 years. Why did we bring those on? Well, we brought those on because business and industry said, hey, we have a demand for construction trades. Right?
Yes.
We have a demand for bringing on robotics with the new empirical plant and industrial maintenance. We have a demand for these programs that we're bringing on, which in turn, we're training students to be able to take jobs and benefit the economic region of Southwest Kansas.
Oh, that's excellent. And that's why we're blessed to have a college like Garden City Community College.
Right.
And you told me, and I'm going to bring it up again, that actually Garden City Community College was the first community college in the state, right?
Yeah, so we were founded in 1919.
Wow.
So we're the longest serving.
See, I don't know if very
college.
many people know that,
Yeah.
you know. And then there's rule challenges, and let's talk a little bit about the cost. That's what's great. And you have created partnerships
Right.
with four-year institutions, to get these kids through their education. That's why it's such a blessing, because of the cost and the ability, not having to travel clear across the state. They can start here and eventually go and be done with it, but then you only have 2 years.
That's right. Yeah.
So there's a huge saving, there's a huge benefit to staying at home and getting started here.
Right.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. And I think part of that there, and we've had many community members over the years, ask me, ask other employees of the college, when is Garden City Community College going to be a 4-year university?
Oh, you get that all the time.
And
yeah.
the answer is we're not, because we can be much more nimble and we can respond much quicker as a community college, being locally governed, locally controlled, as a community college than you can as a university. But what we will bring to the table, and what we have, are partnerships like what we have with Fort Hays, with a bachelor's and a master's degree in social work. Partnerships like we have with Newman, where we brought a bachelor's completion for 8 bachelor's degrees to Garden City.
Yeah, that's
working
excellent.
on some things with K-State and others, and so you can start here and stay here and be able to get your associate's degree, your bachelor's degree, and even into your master's degree.
And on a personal note, education, and I'm talking the bigger institutions, they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to pivot or change the way just the cost is getting out of hand for many of our kids.
Right.
So this is a great alternative to get started.
Right.
I don't know what that magic pill is, but I tell you what, because of the debt that these kids are incurring.
Right.
And then they graduate, and then it's tough for them to get in a home.
That's exactly right.
It makes it tough to do a lot of things when you're strapped with debt. So it is truly a blessing. I'm glad to see the partnerships that you are creating, and I hope there's more to come. Surely, the universities, they want the kids they want them there.
Right. Yeah.
But the reality is, Kansas is a big state. And we're down in Southwest Kansas, but we are a very progressive, growing community. So this institution is vital to keep us, going in that direction. And I'm sure the students. Tell me a little bit about well, let's back up here first.
Sure.
Let's talk about the cost.
Right.
A little bit. And we were talking off camera here. Because that can be challenging. It is challenging today with some of the money that you were getting in at one time. And tell us, how are you funded? How is the college funded?
Yeah, so I think that's a great question, and really, the very basics of it it's a 3-legged stool, right? So there's 3 primary funding sources that we have. One is student tuition. 2 is our local ad valorem, local tax dollars.
Right.
And the 3rd is state funding. Well, as a community college, and as community colleges are built on access and affordability. So, we have kept our tuition low. We have kept it to where it's affordable. So tuition, generates roughly about It's roughly about 11% of our overall budget. So
Okay.
it's
And your budget's
portion.
36
About 36 million.
Right.
Right. And so, about 11% of that comes from tuition. About 52% of our budget comes from our local constituents, our local taxpayers, our local stakeholders. And so, a large bulk of our funding is derived from local ad valorem tax. But again, a large base of our student population and who we serve, 52% of our population
They're residents here.
is Finney County residents.
Yeah.
So there's a direct correlation there as well. And then roughly about 17% of our budget comes from state funding. And state funding has been weaning off and declining over the last few years. And so, between all that, really the remainder of our budget comes from federal grants and some contracts and other ancillary.
Sometimes you got to get creative, don't you?
So then you have to get creative. Yeah.
Well, okay, that's the. How many departments do you actually have and staff that you you work for you?
Right. So we have
253
full-time employees. So we have 253 full-time, and then on the part-time side and our adjunct faculty, roughly another 120 employees.
Wow.
And so it's a large operation, and then you figure in we have about 2,300 students on an annual basis, and so we have some students that work for us on work study and some student positions that we have on campus there then as well. So you're talking 375 to 400
wow,
working on campus.
Yeah, it's a good sized number there. And of course, you got athletics. Everybody loves football.
Right.
Well, not everybody, but a good percentage of our folks love football.
Absolutely.
Throughout the years, Garden City Community College has put itself, on the map with several great athletes coming out of this college, be it baseball, football, basketball.
Right.
Yeah, and those guys as well, you have to do a little bit of recruiting, and you want to maintain quality, winning coaches as best you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know we have a new football coach. Well, this is the second year, right?
This will be his second year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I had an opportunity to meet him.
Yeah, new men's basketball this year.
Yeah, I was at the chamber breakfast this morning, so saw him get up and or saw your crew there.
Yeah. And I think that's. I mean, we're truly blessed. We put a lot of focus and emphasis on this there as well. That we expect, and our coaches do a tremendous job of getting out in the community, engaging with the community, doing community service. And that's important, right? I mean, we expect community to come to the games and support. Well, we need to return the favor and go out and help.
I think you do a good job. I see and I see student athletes.
Right.
With Real Men, Real Leaders, we're out there volunteering.
Yep.
But you're right there too.
Yeah.
We've been to many things that the students are there as well.
Yeah.
Which is great to see.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a teaching moment there for students there as well. Learning that servant leadership, learning how to give back to the community, and but we have a tremendous amount of athletics, as one piece, but we have so many great things that are going on even on the fine arts side.
On the academic side,
choir, our strings.
Yeah.
The things that we have going on that truly bring in community and make us more of a well-rounded education and institution. That's truly what it is that matters. We were talking with our board last night just on the number of summer camps and just the ways that we can engage with youth in the summer. We had a STEM camp, we had a robotics camp, had a meats judging camp, had a strings camp, and then all of your athletics held camps. And so, you think about that. I mean, summer's kind of a downtime. But that's an opportunity where we can engage with youth. Get them to learning about different careers and different majors and different things that they didn't even know were possible.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Because we want our kids to get a little focused, stay busy, get them out in front of off the TV and off their phones.
That's right.
We talk to our Real Men, Real Leaders. I hope me and you've talked on the side that I want to develop or strengthen our relationship, and I want our boys. There's been several that have gone to school there, but we want to highlight that. We want our boys that to think about starting here if they want to go to school, and if not, that's okay. We don't necessarily push education. We push it, but not to the point where it's too much, because for many of these kids, they going to school or college may not be the right thing for them now.
That's right.
And you probably see a little bit of that.
Yes.
And so I think oftentimes sometimes we're part of the problem.
Right. Right.
So you got to go to college.
Yeah.
You need. It's important, yes.
Yeah.
But with the things that are changing, and we, I brought up the other day when we were at the Builders Association, how AI, I saw a very good report, is really taking some of these white collar jobs.
Right.
So some of these kids are now, because of that, are really focusing in on what you just mentioned earlier about the trades.
Yes.
And other areas.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a plus to AI and there's a negative side.
That's exactly right.
It's not necessarily negative. You just got to learn to shift and pivot.
Yeah.
And kids are starting to take a look at the trade. So that's, again, goes back to the fact that I'm glad we have a great trades program, here. And they ought to take a look at that. We need plumbers, we need electricians, bricklayers, welders.
Yes.
Your welding class, they put on a good program for us. I can't think of the staff's name. He's a great guy, does a great job, interacts with the kids real well.
Beto.
Yeah, Beto, there you go.
Yeah.
And we've had some kids interested in welding as a result of that.
Right.
So,
and I think that's the main thing, is just opening their eyes to what's out there, because, we say this so many times. Many times these kids, these students, they don't know what they don't know, right?
Yeah.
So it's incumbent on us to figure out how is it that we can broaden the reach, how can we make them aware of the different careers and opportunities that are available.
Yeah.
And that's where we can help come in and build some of that out.
What's your vision for the future? Yeah, I mean, just not yours, not Ryan. I know you have a board of trustees.
Right.
You do get a little direction. It's a governance type of policy. I'm learning that.
Right.
And where you kind of, we kind of set the tone. I'm not a trustee, but they set the tone.
Right. Right.
But allow you to.
Right.
What do you think about the future of the Garden City Community College?
Yeah. Well, I would say this. I mean, it's not what I determine the future to be. It's collectively having a table, or coming to the table.
Right.
But we have a master's facilities plan. We have a strategic plan that's guiding us for the future. So what is it that we're looking for? Well, a lot of the projects and initiatives that we put into place, like the partnerships with the universities, the new programs, those aren't something that are just dreamt up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those are things that we were thinking about 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, starting to work with industry, starting to work with community leaders. And those, that enables us to be able to put those programs in place. And so when you're talking about where is it that I see us going in the future, where are we going to be in the next 5 years? We have a declining population base in Southwest Kansas. You have fewer students graduating high school. You have high schools, numbers are getting smaller, population's getting smaller.
Yes.
But yet Garden City is really kind of an anomaly to that there, right? I mean, Garden City is a hub and a drawing card. So, a lot of what we talk about there is we have to look at our region and figure out how it is that we address, but we also have to look and see where are the opportunities at. Our online, our distance education has grown leaps and bounds over the last 5 and 6 years. Distance ed is an area where we can have a far reach into, if students are here in Garden City and they want to do distance ed, that's an option. If they want to be out in New Hampshire or Vermont or Florida and taking distance education, we're an option for that. And so I think you have to look at following and seeing where trends are at. Mm-hmm. A lot of why we've put an emphasis on building the partnerships for university degrees here is that helps keep families here, right? And so if we're seeing that there's an outreach of people leaving the area, how is it that we can best retain them here? Well, let's get them degrees. Let's find a reason to keep them here. Because once they go off to the Fort Hayes, the
Sometimes
KU or K-State,
tough to get them back.
It's hard to bring
And
them back.
I have a daughter. I mean, Ryan, that well, my kids, they're great examples of that. That once they left here, they're not too excited to come back.
Right. Yes.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
They've got to live out their passion, their dreams.
That's right.
But if we can, we would love for our kids to come back and grow. Because Garden City is a good place to live.
Great place.
It really is. A lot of things are happening here.
Yeah.
And I know the challenges you face. We are a very diverse community. Mm-hmm. And when you get the different types of folks that come here
Right.
to go to work, to do the work that needs to be done, it's challenging to our school district. It's challenging to our college, the health service. I mean, it's challenging all the way around.
That's right.
But I think we've been able to handle that. I mean, that's why Garden City's on the map.
Right.
And we've taken that challenge on, and I think that's why we've been blessed. Economically, and the city continues to grow.
Completely agree.
Yeah. Is it tough?
Yeah.
It is tough dealing with
is.
kids when they don't know English.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you just don't throw in the towel.
Right.
These kids need an opportunity to learn. They need a chance, regardless of where they come from.
Right.
And I feel strongly about that.
Right. Well, and I think there are very few communities. I mean, Garden City has what I would say is a can-do spirit, right? But you
Yes.
have very few communities where city, county, college, school district, where everybody is coming together, and has a common vision of, we want to make things better. We want to improve things for our families and for the people that live here. And we're going to figure out a way to work together and collaborate and make that happen. You don't see that in a lot of other communities.
You don't.
And I think that's what sets us apart and why we've had success as a community, because of that can-do spirit.
Yes, very true. Hey, Edgar, are we doing okay on time, or we're good? Okay, I just checking in there. You've come a long ways, Ryan, and you're running one of the most important institutions in our community. Share with us what it took, or what's it take to be the guy that you are. I know leadership is just not a title. We know that. That's what we tell our young boys with
Right.
Real Men, Real Leaders. It's more of an activity.
Right.
You're taking action.
That's right.
Titles come and go.
Right.
What could you leave with us about leadership that you feel strongly about that gets it done? Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you'd like to share with the community or our kids? Because
Right.
Our kids will see this, the community will see this. And any words of wisdom there?
Yeah. Well, that's a loaded question.
I know.
That's
I
good.
know.
No.
Well, and I didn't mean that, but
No.
but
I think a lot of it truly comes down to have passion for what you do, right? I mean, love what you do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life.
I like that. Yeah.
But you have to have passion. You have to believe in what it is you're doing, and it can't just be you. You have to build up others.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to trust others. You have to build up others. And I think a lot of it there is if you take care of people, and it comes down to being intentional. It comes down to listening. Again, we're not always going to agree, right? But let's have the hard conversations. Let's discuss what it is that I need to do different. We'll talk about, where the differences may be. But at the end of the day, let's get those differences out here and let's be solution focused.
And that's excellent, because that's the problem in today's, again, I'm going to say my personal belief.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
Is that we've gotten to the point where we can't talk to each other anymore.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And you got to pick a side.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate, because it makes it tough to get some things done sometimes, being at odds or blaming each other for this or that. We got to get back to that.
Right.
You know, obviously we do a good job, but more people need to think about just what you said.
Right.
And just because somebody's different than you or has a different opinion than you, that's okay.
It's 100%. That's exactly right.
It's okay. And you may not agree with them, but be civil.
Right.
Give a little grace.
Right.
I think we forget that because me, I believe in our Lord Savior Jesus Christ, and I'm not trying to get religion on you here, but He gives us grace, you know, every day.
Yeah.
We screw up. I screw up.
Right.
It may not be every day, but it may be every other day. I'm saying something or think something or do something I shouldn't be doing, right?
Right. Following those footsteps.
Yeah.
You know.
So we got to remember to give a little grace to folks.
Right.
And with whatever you're dealing with.
Right.
Whether it's a city issue, college issue, county issue, state issue. And we got to get back to that somehow, some way. And you're absolutely correct. You got to have a passion. You got to be intentional, but you also got to bring in people to get the job done.
That's right.
And let them be part of the solution.
Right.
You tend to go a lot further than trying to be the top guy.
That's right.
Or gal, or, you know, doesn't work quite as well.
Yeah, you can't make it about yourself, right? And so you have to. I mean, it's creating inclusivity. It's getting input from others. It's listening. It's hearing from others, and then ultimately, yes, at a point, a decision has to be made, but you can't be making those decisions in a silo in a box. You have to listen to others. You have to listen to the community. You have to listen to your employees. You have to listen to students. All those individuals are going to give you input that leads into how you make the best informed decisions.
Yes. Well, you do a good job. Glad to have you here in Garden City, Finney County. Want to continue to wish you the best.
Appreciate that.
This is why we had this podcast, because we want to highlight leaders in our community like Ryan and Matt Allen. They're going to be business folks come in. Hopefully we can grab some state folks. I'm hoping to get some of our federal politicians in if I can just get them to sit down, and they're tough because they got a lot on their plate. And our kids, you're going to hear from our kids as well. How they view things. Oftentimes I think we ignore that, the kids, but they should have a voice.
Right.
Kids are pretty smart and resilient. They know right from wrong, man.
They do. Yeah.
I was, and this was years ago, Ryan. I think it had to do with Leadership Kansas. I was back east, and I can't even recall we were at some company, and they were creating, one of the deals they were trying to create was a cart, a grocery cart. Okay. And what they did, and I don't know where they went with it. I didn't see anything as a result, but it was kind of interesting because what they did, they would take kids and put them in a room, okay, and talk to them about, hey, we're trying to, in their terms, we're trying to create this. What would you guys like to see in a, and those kids came up with some pretty interesting ideas,
Right.
To make it better, because some kids sit in the basket, and they had some adults there too, but they were really trying to make the kids see what their thoughts were.
Right.
And it's pretty interesting because they were pretty creative.
Yeah.
If you just invite them in and hear them out.
Yeah.
But oftentimes because maybe their age or their grade, or we tune them out sometimes. Right. You don't know what's best for you.
So true. Yeah.
And so it was interesting to me. And to be honest, that's why we started where we did with Real Men, Real Leaders at the age that we did, because we strongly believe that we're doing some good, we're being impactful, but it's not us, it's the help of this whole community.
That's right.
And we want to have these kids believe in themselves that they can be leaders, but we're going to start at a young age
Right.
and get them to believe in that and encourage them,
Right.
and not always getting hammered, because I know there's numbers out there that, for all of us, we hear more negativity than we do positive,
Right. Yeah.
and that's unfortunate, but that's in the world we live in. And these kids get a lot of it. And sometimes there's circumstances at home where it's not the best.
That's right.
So that's why we've got to step in and help and provide them opportunities as best we can, like you do, like we do. With, this is a good community to be in.
Absolutely. Well, you're doing impactful work and you're making a difference.
Yeah, well, thank you. And again, I didn't pay Ryan to say that. I hope he feels that way. I think he does. I know he does, because we've got a great relationship, and I hope to improve our partnership in the future. I'd like to be honest with you. I'd like to have a little youth leadership academy in this community, and be known as we develop our youth,
Right.
and give them leadership opportunities. But yet, before you do that, you've got to have a servant type of servant leadership.
That's right.
Learn to serve others. And so that's what we're trying to do. And so we appreciate you. Thank you for being on today.
My pleasure.
Is there anything else you want to share before we sign off? Is there anything out there?
I always like to finish there by saying it's a great day to be a buster.
That's true. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but it's great to be here, and from myself, and I do mean it. I appreciate the work you do. I mean,
thank you.
You see the impact, and you see it replicated, and that's going to pay dividends for generations to come.
We're actually started the girls finally, really slow rolling it, and we're going to have some girls we're going to start with Charles Stone's Intermediate Center. Is where we're going to start.
Yeah.
And Principal Andrew Lee over there, great supporter of ours, both for the boys and girls, and that's what we need within the school district. And I've yet to go meet the interim superintendent, Josh. I'm planning to do that because we have to have their support. These kids need to see that we're both on the same page.
That's right.
And even yourself.
Right.
So anyway, appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Always.
Hey, thank you for joining us for this podcast today. Pay attention, because we're going to do future podcasts, and we'll have a variety of leaders out of our community, hopefully even out of the state, and who knows, outside of the state. This is what it's all about. And so we want to thank Dr. Ryan Ruda for being here with us today, and stay tuned for the next episode. God bless.